In this video, I will explain to you how to use the ACE writing format to answer the focus question, which problem impacted the fall of the Roman Empire? So before you begin this, you should have completed the full exercise, Can You Stop the Fall of Rome? And as we discussed in class, you need to write what your decision was and then what the result was. So before you even start this, make sure you have explained what the result or consequence of your choice was, how many coins you lost, and then for each one, it should say what your total is, whether it went up or down on each decision. Then with your team, you guys answered the reflection questions. You'll notice that I have a lot of options here for number 3, but you only needed to write down 3. And I have this here so that you can at least make sure that the 3 that you wrote down fall under this list. And for number 3, it says review the problems that needed to be solved by Roman emperors. So all these problems led to the fall of the Roman Empire. There are many, many issues that led to its ultimate demise. So in our focus question, we will start by creating one text box. You can go ahead and shape it if you'd like. Sometimes I shape it later. I just hit return and make it bigger as I go. And then here is a sentence frame that you can use. So let's go ahead and start there. And you can choose from any of the ones either on this list or on the list that you wrote with your team for number 3. The one that I'm going to choose is barbarian invasions. So it says, one of the most impactful Roman problems was barbarian invasions. And I'm going to use our resource to cite and elaborate on how this led to the fall of the Roman Empire. So I'm going to hit return. Do not make a new text box, just use the same one. And I'm going to use the beginning of this sentence starter, to prepare my citation. As indicated in the activity, and then put quotations, and then everything within it needs to be in title case. Now we're going to get something from our resource that will explain what happened with the barbarian invasions. So I have my resource ready here, and it says barbarians such as Goths, Franks, Saxons, and Huns and Vandals invade and attack your empire. So that's a citation that we're going to use. As indicated in the activity, Can You Stop the Fall of Rome? And I'm going to choose to paraphrase because I've already put the title in quotations and I don't want to quote again. I just don't think it looks right. So as indicated in the activity, there were many invasions, let's say attacks, since we have invasions in the previous sentence, from groups such as let me get a couple names, Goths, Franks, and Vandals. I'm choosing 3. Okay, and then for our elaboration, we need to make sure that we talk about how it impacted the fall of Rome. So anytime we elaborate, we're adding new details and we're explaining how that issue led to the fall of the Roman Empire. So you can go back to your resource and see what kinds of decisions were made by emperors. Some increased the size of the army. However, in doing so, they had to charge many more taxes and to pay for that military defense. then maybe you can divide it in half into two parts, which we know Diocletian did, or you could lead the army yourself. So here, this is what happens if you divide the empire into two. Pick two good leaders for each section. You're able to better manage the empire and collect more taxes and defeat those barbarians. So that is a positive result, but we also know that if they're fighting, then that is also going to cost more money. And then our final option was to lead the army yourself, and then that will depend on the leadership itself. So I'm going to choose to elaborate based on increasing the size of the army. Okay, let me read what it says. One of the most impactful Roman problems was barbarian invasions. As indicated in the activity, Can You Stop the Fall of Rome?, there were many attacks from groups such as the Goths, Franks, and Vandals. This led to the emperor facing the decision to increase the size of the army. Not only was it ineffective, it also caused the need to raise taxes. Now, I have elaborated, I've added extra details, but I still need one more sentence to explain how that led to the fall of the Roman Empire. This resulted in the fall of Roman Empire as the government was now facing economic and security problems. So in your E, it's very rare that you can compose a sentence that will fully answer the question and elaborate. So be prepared to write 2 to 3 sentences, and then make sure always that you're answering the focus question. So always go back to that focus question. So at this point, you have copied everything that you see here, and using this example, you're going to choose another problem that happened in the Roman Empire, and you're going to write about it here. Now, it's perfectly okay to use the same sentence starters and to go back to the resource to make sure that you're getting good information to include in each of these boxes. So this part right here, it's completely on your own. I need to see where your skills lie.